One of the things that we need to talk about are risk factors, and there are a couple different types. We have the personal risk factors and the environmental risk factors. And right now we're going to look at these personal risk factors. There's a little bit of just truth to the matter, which is we are in control of our body, and as we age, as we put on weight, as we have medical conditions, our body's not quite as capable of dealing with the heat as it used to be. And unfortunately, there's some things that we can do about it, but there's some things that we just can't. Again, the heavier we are, the more calories we burn, the more water we need, and the hotter we get. And that is just part of the facts. And again, the thinner we are, the better off we are to withstand the heat. So these types of personal risk factors, medications that we take, the amount of alcohol that we consume, caffeine that we consume, all play into our susceptibility for heat illnesses. And what we need to do is be mindful of these and be mindful of the things that we do to our body. So if we go out and we celebrate a birthday or a wedding and we've been drinking a little bit of alcohol, that next day when we get up, we're going to need to hydrate a little bit more because, again, that alcohol is pulling moisture out of our body and our organs. So same thing with our age. Our body just isn't quite as capable of dealing with the heat as we get older, especially once we get up into our 60s and 70s. So these things are all things that we have to be mindful about, and they all play into this heat illness. So depending on your exercise regime and what you are doing to supplement, again, with the medications and also supplements, we need to be mindful that these all play part in the hydration of our body. So some supplements, a lot of guys are into the creatine and proteins because they're trying to bulk up and build some muscle. And these all require extra water to basically break down and digest into the body. Creatine is taking water and storing it in the cells, and our protein takes a lot of extra water to process in our body. So if we're not adding to our normal hydration routine, we're really kind of behind the 8 ball. And so we have to look at these personal risk factors. If our medications are such that they make us retain water or make us dispel water, these are, again, are things that are personal to us and that we need to take into consideration. So if I'm approaching 50 years of age and my counterpart is 22, it's a big difference. We have different needs, and that is not going to allow us to apply the same hydration levels, the same work exertion to the same effort, right? So we have to be mindful of it. We have to accommodate for these differences in our personal risks. So again, don't take it as you're not capable or you can't deal with it, or for some odd reason you shouldn't. It's just a matter of you need to make adjustments to these personal risk factors. Be mindful of what they are. So check your medications, see what they do, talk to your doctor about those if you do have to work in the heat. And if you are taking supplements, understand what those supplements do for us. And again, if we are overweight or obese, it's one of those things where we can start to try and cut back a little bit on those things, cut back on our alcohol consumption and our caffeine consumption before we have to get out into the heat. All right, next we're going to talk about our environmental risk factors.